On Street Rodding American Style is our annual visit to the cousins of the street rods. It's all about muscle cars. Today we'll take a look at a 67 Olds 442, a 1969 Chevelle Super Sport. Of course, it has to be a Mopar, so we have a 69 Plymouth Roadrunner, and a very clean and mean 68 Mustang. These are all coming up next on Street Rodding American Style.
Support for Street Rodding American Style is provided in part by BG Products Incorporated. BG Products Incorporated is dedicated to making vehicles last longer and perform better in the meantime. In shops all over the world, BG Products serves the driving public with innovative products and proven programs of automotive maintenance. More information can be found at bgfindashop.com.
They make you look, dream, and sometimes even wish. These are street rods, built or just owned by those who have the same passion. My name is David Wolf, and along with Simon McCormick and Patricia Brown, we travel to admire these passions. These are works of art and are designed with the personality and the ingenuity of the owner in mind. Built in garages, barns, and even under shade trees in communities all across this great land of ours. This is more than just a hobby. This is an addiction. This is Street Rodding American Style. Si, would you consider your 64 Volkswagen a muscle car?
It's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
but no.
Well, that's why we don't have it on today's show.
Okay.
Because today it's all about muscle cars.
Well, sweet, man, I love muscle cars, but you know what?
What?
When I'm done with my motor, it's gonna be a V8 killer. So look out, muscle cars.
Well, I'll tell you what, until that happens, we're going to take a look at some real muscle cars.
Sweet.
Troy, what are we looking at here?
A 67 Olds 442.
In 1967, the average income was $7,300. A movie ticket cost you $1.25, and the first Super Bowl was played with the Green Bay Packers defeating the Kansas City Chiefs 35-10.
442 stands for what?
It's 4-barrel, 4-speed, dual exhaust.
Where'd you get this?
I actually got it from my father.
So now how'd you get it?
Well, it was sitting in the driveway for a couple of years, and I was tired of riding the school bus, so I asked him what he was going to do with the car, and he said, "It's yours, but you got to fix it."
You got to fix it. What was wrong with it?
Well, come to find out, it was the fuel pump was out of it.
So, but that was easy. I mean, you just went to your dad, hey,
What?
Dad, help me out, right?
You would think it was easy. He made me walk to town to get it.
He did?
And it wasn't mean. It was learning my lesson on how to take care of this car.
So it wasn't running. Just a fuel pump on and says, you fix it. Your car, you got to fix it now, right?
Yes, and it was a good lesson. Look at it.
So, Troy, it was then given to you. You had to fix it, but do you have a son at all or not?
Yes.
Is he going to inherit, or you had to make him work for it too?
Well, I didn't do him quite like my dad did.
So how'd you
but
help him out?
I made him help with the project, plus he got to spend half of the cost of the project.
Well, he didn't get
So-
too much off then.
I didn't let him off. He didn't have to walk to town.
But he probably did after he got the billfold out, didn't he?
Yes, he had to earn it.
This is probably not a cheap thing to put together, because a 442 is probably hard to come by with parts, isn't it?
You are correct. The parts were hard to come by. We went through 3 parts cars and several trips out of town, and we had a great experience. Neither one of us
Excellent.
got mad at each other. and
Yes.
We're still best of friends today. So.
Now that's a camaraderie there with a father and son when you're working on a car together, isn't it?
Yes.
The engine in this, is that the original engine or not?
This one is not the original engine. We have
It's not, because it's the same color, but I was wondering if that was the same engine or not. So how can you tell the difference between that engine and this? Because they look identical.
most people won't because I put the badge on it to make it look
you're
like.
sucking them in, aren't you?
Yes, it looks like the original engine. The only way you can tell is if you're a real Oldsmobile nut, the old cap is on the original motor, slides on and off. This one twists on and off.
Twist on, and the other one would just kind of snap, or kind of it was a rubber one that went
just
in.
push on.
Was there anything else that you could tell from a regular, say, Oldsmobile from a 442 that's a body style?
Other than the emblems,
Right.
the 442 emblems, if you're looking at a true 442 car,
Right.
it'll have the louvers.
The louvers.
The
So
Cutlass version will not. It'll be a flat hood with a trim piece down the middle.
what would be your definition of a muscle car?
Well, for me, it's the cars that were built through the 60s, through the probably 70s that competed for horsepower.
There you go. And this had the horsepower.
This had the horsepower.
But also, did it kind of give you horsepower when you had the red walls? Because I see this has red walls. More horsepower from that or not?
I don't know that it made more horsepower, but it sure looked good.
Doggone right it does. Any future plans for this?
Driving it.
Driving it. You drive
Enjoying
it a
it.
lot?
Every weekend, just about.
Really? A lot of car shows?
Yes.
And your son is how old?
He's 24 now.
24, so he's enjoying the car shows with us too.
Yes.
But is it in his garage or is it in your garage?
It's in ours. He's living at home, so
Okay, so you're sharing.
he's sharing the garage.
Do you share the car then?
Yes.
So it's not really officially his yet,
No, it's still in my name.
but there'll be a day. When
Probably
will that day come?
after he turns 25 so he can afford the insurance.
Oh. And then you still get to borrow it, right?
Yes.
Doggone
Because it'll be in my garage.
Troy, thanks for letting us see this.
Thank
This is
you.
Great.
Appreciate it.
Almost everyone, including me, knows that oil is important to the operation of a car. And I have Russ Bynum here today from BG Products, who is my oil guru. Right, Russ?
Absolutely.
I want to know, how hard is it to actually change the oil in your car? And can a girl do it?
Well, it's very easy, actually, once you know how. And yeah, even a girl can do it.
Even a girl can do it. I've heard of 5W30, 10W40, semi-synthetic, synthetic.
Absolutely.
And I know you're pretty
There's-
impressed that I know a little bit about that. So tell me, what is the difference and how do you know which ones you can use?
There's a lot of different oils out there, and basically I would have you refer to your owner's manual.
Okay.
Okay, because it's going to tell you exactly what weight of motor oil to use in your car.
I've also heard that there are some additives that you can put in the oil. Do you really need those?
Additives are good, okay, because let's face it, your car's your second biggest investment you're going to make
This
in your
is
life.
true, this is
So
true.
you want to keep it on the road for as long as you can, right?
Right,
Okay.
absolutely.
So what I recommend is to flush your engine, number one, once a year, okay? And so why put clean oil in a dirty engine? So we want to
Right.
clean it. This is a good cleaner. It's 109. It's made by BG Products. And you actually put this in with the old oil and you let the car run for about 20 to 30 minutes
Okay.
before you actually drain the oil. What this
So
does,
this is before the oil change.
this is before the oil change,
Okay.
correct. And then after we change the oil and
Okay.
put new oil in, we're going to put this additive in, which
Okay.
is MOA. This is like a vitamin for your car
All
as far as
right.
additives go, okay?
A little steroid for your oil.
Exactly. This has got really good detergency in it, and this has also got a very good anti-wear.
Okay.
So what that means is most engine wear is done during dry startup when you start your car in the morning because
Right.
the oil's all the way down at the bottom.
Right.
This stays to the parts on top of the engine, so when you start the car, they're already
keep it
lubricated.
lubricated. Gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay.
Less engine wear.
And now that I have passed hopefully passed my Oil Change 101 class with Professor Bynum, I am ready to change my oil, but first I have to find out what tools I need. And I think it's gonna take a little more than a hammer and a hacksaw.
Do you want to know the secret of a strong marriage? Build a muscle car together. That's what Ron and his wife did, and both his marriage and his Chevelle are going strong. See what we mean next on Street Rotting American Style.
This is Ron. This is a Chevelle Super Sport, and it is super sweet. Ron, I gotta know more about this thing, man. It is so awesome.
Well, it's 69 SS Chevelle.
In 1969, the price of gas was 35 cents a gallon. The Pontiac Firebird Trans Am was introduced, and the first man landed on the moon.
Me and my wife built the car.
You and your wife built the car.
Yeah, me and my wife
And
built
you're
the car.
still together?
Yeah, we're still together.
So you've had it for 31 years.
Yeah.
Didn't look like this when you got it.
No, it didn't look like this. We replaced quarter panels and completely redid the car, really.
Frame off restoration.
Pretty much so, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
Do you baby it?
No. No, I like to drive it.
You break them loose every now and then,
oh,
do you?
yeah, I'll smoke tires a little bit.
Get
Not
sideways
just
in a
little
hurry?
bit. So,
Not just a little bit.
just a little bit.
Well, hey, let's go.
Yeah, we can do that.
I want to, man. That'd be fun.
We can do that.
You ever see other cars and you think, well, it's not a Chevelle, but I could still utilize that concept?
Right, yeah, you can use ideals, different people's ideals off their vehicles onto yours.
Yeah.
It's better to ask permission from them, but
That's a good tip. That, you know, it's something I never thought of before. It's respectful to ask for
yeah,
someone's
it's
before stealing their
respectful.
idea.
And I built the car, we built it, we just decided this is the color we wanted, and obviously it turned out real nice. I'm happy with it, my wife's happy with it. That way, keep her happy, I can spend more money on it.
Now we're talking.
So,
So in '69, how big was the motor?
They was 396 car motors, 325 horse, and right now it puts out about 360 horse.
So you've had a dyno that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, we put it on a dyno, and it was about 360 horsepower.
That's awesome. That's a lot of horses, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I noticed the valve covers in this thing are beautiful chrome. Surely those are aftermarket.
No, sir, those are stock on the 396.
They came stock, chrome?
On the 69 Chevelle.
No way.
They came stock. They have been re-chromed, but they are stock.
How would one tell?
There's little divots in them where they spot welded the baffles inside the valve covers.
So the telltale eye, like yourself, you can pull that out.
I can show that. Yeah, I can show it to you. So
that's awesome.
But they're all stock, and tried to keep everything pretty much stock appearing.
Well, you did a really good job.
Thank you.
Interior, surely that's not the original interior. Is that what
it is different, new material, but it is the stock.
That's what it would have been in '69.
Right.
That's beautiful.
Well, thank you.
Got a question for you. Brand new back in '69. Now you say you didn't buy it brand new. What'd you pay for it?
When I bought it, I give $800 for the car.
I got $805. Would you take it?
No, I couldn't do that. Not right now.
What do you think it's worth today?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It's hard to say. However much you really want to pay for one.
Do you keep receipts?
No, I didn't want to do that because my wife might see them.
That's something to remember for everybody.
Might have seen them. So, but no, she was real good about it on what we spent on the car and everything. I'm going to guess they're somewhere in the neighborhood of $50,000 now.
You've got 50 grand wrapped up in this, so you think that's what the value is?
I do not. That's about the value of them, thereabouts.
Well, Ron, you've done a great job. You should be proud. This thing is a beast. I've got one more question for you. Can we hear this bad boy?
Oh, yeah.
Let's fire it up, man.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Russ, I think I am ready to tackle this project. But I'm gonna be straight up with you. I just had a manicure today, so the first thing I think I'm gonna need are some gloves.
Of course. And here you go. Are you ready for surgery?
Yes, yes I am. I think I'm ready to tackle this. You know, I was looking at my car, and I know that it sits really low. I'm not sure if I can fit under there, and I do not have one of these super cool lifts. So what can I use to change my oil?
Well, thanks to my buddy Scott at AutoSmart, we have this nice facility to do this in. But since you're at home, or if you're at home, you're going to need a few things.
Okay.
First thing you're going to need is something to catch the old oil in. You don't want it flowing all over the place.
And it obviously needs to be big enough to hold what?
5 to 6 quarts on most vehicles.
Okay.
Okay. The second thing you're going to need is a wheel chock, because you're going to have to jack your car up. Okay. So we want to put a chock behind the back wheel.
Oh, gotcha.
So
it doesn't roll?
Yeah,
that would be bad.
Yeah, not good.
Not if you're underneath it.
We're going to need some filter wrenches, and there's several different kinds. I kind of like a universal wrench because oil filters are different sizes.
Okay.
So if you've got more than one car and you're changing oil on more than one car, you don't want to have to buy several different oil filters.
Okay, so when it adjusts, like this one
this is an adjuster, and basically, let's say this is an oil filter, it's just going to put it around there and you can take it off. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I'll show you how that works on your car.
All right.
Other thing we're going to need is a jack stand. Something, once you get it jacked up, you're going to have
it there
to hold it. So we got jack stands.
Can I not just leave it on the jack?
No, not a good idea. Unless you want to get squashed. I mean, that's, jack's falling. Guys get hurt, it's not good. Girls get hurt too.
Yes, I know. Today.
I recommend a good floor jack. It doesn't have to be this big, but at least a good floor jack. Try not to use the jack that your car comes with to change the tire.
Oh, like the one that,
Yeah, that's not not very safe to do an oil change with.
But if we had the jack stands.
But if you had the jack stands, you could jack one side up at a time. Absolutely. Just you want to make it safe.
Okay.
And then you're just going to need the size wrench that fits on the drain plug.
And the oil and the filter too, right?
Oil and filter. Gotta have it.
All right.
All right.
Okay, I think I am ready to tackle this project.
All right.
And show you even a girl can do it.
Robert is a repeat on Street Rodding American Style. Only last time it was with his '68 Dodge Charger. Wait till you see what he brought this year. A 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner. And it's next on Street Rodding American Style.
Robert, tell me what we're looking at here.
It's a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner.
In 1969, the internet is first used by the U.S. military. Monty Python's Flying Circus debuted on television, and the Beatles performed their last public appearance on the roof of Apple Records.
A friend of mine rebuilt the car He was in the area of Assyria, Kansas, saw it sitting in a field.
He saw this sitting. Okay, he saw this sitting in a field.
Saw it sitting in a field.
So it was just sitting there rusting or not?
Yes, it was rusted.
Who can let a road runner rust?
Well, evidently somebody can.
Oh, so somebody who did not appreciate what they had.
Right. It was sitting there with a Mustang, and there was a dog attached to the car.
To this or the Mustang?
This was to this.
To this?
Yes, this was his dog's doghouse.
Okay, it goes back like you said. He did not know what he had.
Right. Well, he knew what he had, but he didn't care.
He didn't care.
Exactly. He was the original owner of the car.
Okay.
So,
my gut is just wrenching just hearing this story, but go ahead.
So Ken stopped and said, walked up to the guy and said, "Hey, I'd like to buy that car." And he says, "Well, I'll sell you the Mustang." He says, "No, I don't want the Mustang. I want the Mopar.
Right.
I want the Roadrunner." So he said, "That's my dog's house." And
he
says,
was
"Well,
more
it don't
concerned about
matter."
his dog having a house in this
Right,
car.
right. But he purchased the car.
What about the Mustang?
As far as I know, the Mustang's still sitting there. So Ken actually was the second owner of the car. I'm the third owner of the car. But it's a numbers matching car. He had the 440 Magnum engine in it, and he had the 383 motor that's in it now, the numbers matching motor.
So he originally had a 440 Magnum in this thing, but
Yeah.
you wanted numbers matching. You didn't want the horsepower.
Right.
You wanted to say it's all numbers matching.
Exactly.
Now these rims don't match.
No, the original rims that should be on this car are just a regular rim with a dog dish hubcap,
Right.
what they call them back in
And
the
those
day.
dog dish, back then, they were as ugly as can be, but now they're probably pretty cool to see on a car, aren't
Well,
they?
yeah, they are. I mean, now that we appreciate what they are, yeah. But back then they just didn't have the pizzazz,
Right.
So
now how many muscle cars do you own? You just own this one, right?
I own this one in a '68 Dodge Charger.
A Dodge Charger. Now,
And
we
then-
had you on the show with that Dodge Charger a
Yes,
couple
you
years
have.
ago.
Yes, you have. I used to have another one like this, a '68 Roadrunner,
Right.
which actually used to belong to that man sitting over there.
The one that's sitting over there right now.
Randy Ander from Conway Springs.
You can wave if you want.
Well, he had a '68 Hemi Roadrunner, and I had a Hemi Roadrunner.
Yeah.
So, and it was B5 blue, basically the same thing as this, and it's set. I think I'd maybe put 500-600 miles on it.
Okay, Robert, give me your personal definition of a muscle car.
A muscle car to me is something that was affordable back in the '60s. That was fast.
Something fast.
Like your Roadrunners, your Chevelles, your Novas.
Right. But back then, weren't those kind of gas guzzling engines that they had in here?
Yes, they were. But you got to realize that gas back then was probably 15 cents a gallon. Premium was probably 18, 19 cents a gallon. Well, you could take $5 and fill up a car.
Yes.
And cruise all night.
Right.
Where now $5 puts 2 gallons in it maybe.
So what kind of gas mileage did these things get when they came out of the factory?
Probably roughly 8 to 10 miles per
8 to
gallon.
10.
Yeah.
But back then, nobody cared.
Nobody cared. The Hemis even got even less. They
And
probably
today,
got
do
5
you
or
even
6.
care?
No.
See, it keeps
No,
with the
'cause
tradition,
it's
doesn't
just-
it?
Right.
I love this thing. Well, Robert, can you do me a favor? Can we hear this
Sure.
bad boy?
Sure.
That'd be awesome.
Sure.
I have my car up on the lift and I am ready to learn how to do this. Russ, show me what I need to do.
First thing you need to do is find the oil drain plug and the
Okay.
oil filter.
Okay, I think I know the drain plug is here, right?
Absolutely,
Okay,
that is.
pan and the drain, that is hot.
Yeah, it is hot. The car's been running. Yes.
Okay, ouch. I was looking and I have no idea where my filter is though. I'm not sure where that is.
On most cars, Patricia, the oil filter is just somewhere underneath the car.
Okay.
But on this particular car, the oil filter is actually on top, underneath
okay.
the hood compartment.
So we're gonna have to, after we drain, we're gonna have to put it down and grab the filter.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay, this is hard. Let's try one more time.
Are you going the right way?
I think I am, right? No. Yes? No, now you got me all confused.
Here.
Okay.
Sometimes they're really tight, so we want to
Okay.
put a cheater wrench on. So what we
All
do
right.
is we put that wrench like that.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
I'm gonna hold on to the drain
know.
plug and just pull it out, just like
There we
that.
go.
Very good.
Okay, Russ, so I've drained the oil, put the plug back, and so now we're up top looking for the filter. Am I right?
Let's
so
find the filter.
Find the filter game. Okay, so I'm thinking it's probably something like this because it's got that round top like that one wrench
Absolutely.
looks like. Okay.
It's right there.
I got this. Maybe.
So just lift it up
Okay, and then put that on there.
and put that right under there, just like that. Perfect.
This one back on like this. You just
And you
stick.
just push it down on there. So it pops just like that.
All right. All right. So I can just spin it here and then tighten it up. All right.
Tight's
Okay,
tight, too tight.
that's it. Okay, so we have the oil cap off, ready to put the oil in. So I'm just gonna grab some quarts, right, and just pour them in the hole.
Most cars take five to 6 quarts.
Okay.
This car, however, takes about 7. So.
Okay. Oh.
Be
my
careful.
gosh.
Yeah.
Hi, yeah, how do you do
what
that?
Are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Okay, that was bad. Okay, Russ, we've got the oil in. We checked the gauges. They looked good. And so we just put the oil cap on and we're done?
You're forgetting one thing.
Oh, the MOA.
Your vitamins.
Yes,
Your
I need that. Right.
So.
Okay, so we just pour it in just like we poured the oil in.
Can I take care of this
Yeah,
for you?
I'll let you do that.
Don't want to make another mess. All right.
Okay.
You
so
get the
then
cap.
Cap on. Okay, Russ, that was pretty easy. Under 30 minutes, I think I did a pretty good job. Saved myself about $30 and just proved that if I can do it, anyone can do it, even Cy.
When Geo Metros are smoking you off the line, it's time to upgrade the engine, and that's just what Donnie did with this awesome 68 Mustang. And it's coming up on Street Rotting American Style.
I got the women's volleyball coach of Southwestern College right here. His name's Donnie. He's about 1 billion feet tall. He's got this awesome Mustang, and I gotta know more about it. Donnie, what do we got?
1968 Mustang.
In 1968, the average cost of a new car was $2,800. Martin Luther King was assassinated, and the Detroit Tigers won the World Series against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Not running almost nothing stock on this thing.
Nothing stock.
I don't like, no. Everything about it I try to change.
So you didn't get it this way?
No, my dad had it before me, and I loved it when he had it, and then I got it, and throughout high school and through college and beyond that, my mission was to make it my own.
Absolutely. That's what Hot Rod's about. You get something, you get some ideas from some other guys, and you make it your own. You went nuts with the ideas on this thing, though. We got the glass black, we got the charcoal, the Viper red. It pops, it draws your attention to it. Donnie, why these colors, man?
You know, I don't know why these colors. It was always red. I had it in high school. My cousin painted it for me. He did the Viper red.
Whoa, it was painted the Viper red all over?
Yeah, this red was everywhere.
That's a whole bunch of red.
It was basically a glowing flashlight at night. It was insane how red it was. But my mom talked me into it because I wanted to be black, and she's like, you know, black cars don't stand out. You don't say, oh, I remember that black Mustang. You remember that red Mustang. But ever since then, I've always wanted to be black. And
yeah, this one, you definitely remember this car.
Yeah, and this is kind of like a modern twist on a classic. And
Absolutely.
That's kind of my style. Like I like the old with the new, and you kind of see that throughout the car with the seats and
very cool,
the wheels and all that stuff.
Were you wanting a Mustang?
You know, I liked the Mustang, but as I got older, I kind of realized that Mustangs were kind of a girl car, I guess. Not to say that it's not a girl car, but you know, it seems like girls like Mustangs, and that's cool. But I want a muscle, and I never had that muscle.
Something a little bigger.
Yeah, I was getting tired of getting smoked at stoplights and all that. And
whoa, it's a Mustang. Who's smoking a Mustang? What are you talking about?
Completely stock 289, 190 horsepower, didn't have a whole lot. It sounded tough with my glass packs on it.
Who was beating you?
Geo Metro.
Oh yeah, Geo Metros are tough.
You know, I beat a couple trucks here and there, but you know, the big boys, I would try, like, I was pretending like I didn't hear them. My bumps I had in the trunk in high school.
There you go. There you go. You sound cool. That's all we need.
Exactly. I could rev it through a parking lot and sound good. It's all bark, no bite, though.
So we've had this thing since you're 15.
I've had almost 17 years now.
So we've had 17 years. You've changed the color on it. What have we done to the motors? Is it still kind of poking along and sounding good, or what's it doing now?
No, I got rid of my 289 and put a 351 Windsor in there.
Now we're talking.
And it's pumping about 410 horsepower. So
410 horses. Holy cow.
And you know, I used to not like the Mustang, but I like that they're about 1,000 pounds lighter than like a Camaro or Chevelle, and I get a lot of speed for.
You talk about wanting those bigger muscle cars. These pony cars pack a lot of punch.
Yeah.
Is it hard to keep on the ground now?
It's a little squirrely on the rear end. You know, it's a never-ending thing with this car. So the next project is to do some suspension and get some traction bars and maybe like a 4-link rear or something. I don't know, but.
So we still have 4-speed train in it?
No, it had a 3-speed automatic, kind of your standard gears. But I put when I was out in San Diego, there's a shop out there that does like a manual to or automatic to manual swaps, and they put a 5-speed TKO for me, Trimic TKO for me in there.
Sweet. Sweet.
It's a really solid, it can handle about 800 horsepower, so I mean it's good for whatever
Awesome.
I do for it basically.
So you can't tear it up?
No, I can do whatever I want with this car.
What's it gonna take to get this thing off your hands? You kind of started off, I didn't really want a Mustang, and it was kind of slow, sounded good, had the thumps in the trunk.
Well, for a couple things. Number one, it's my first car, so it's my baby now. It's never going anywhere.
Do
And
you
second,
baby it?
oh yeah, I drive it maybe once a month.
Yeah, yeah.
And I also, my mom saved up back child support pay from my dad that she got, and that's how she paid this car. It was my 30th birthday surprise.
That's really
cool. And she
cool.
surprised me with all that money, and she said, "Don't you ever sell this car?" And I'm like, "It's not going anywhere."
Gotta listen to Mom.
Gotta listen to Mom. That's right.
Donnie, I got one more question for you, man.
Shoot.
I gotta hear this bad boy. Can we fire it up?
All right, we'll try it. Give it a
Let's fire
shot.
it up, man.
Si, it's always fun to take a look at muscle cars.
Absolutely, man.
And I'll tell you, Troy's Olds 442 was no exception.
That thing was awesome.
I like the fact that his dad passed it down to him, and now he's passing it down to his own son.
That's awesome.
And Robert's 69 Roadrunner, I still shudder at the fact that at one time someone was using it as a doghouse.
No way.
I'm telling you.
Dude, I love muscle cars, and Ron had this 69 Chevelle.
Right.
It turned my head right when I saw it. First, there's this blue paint, but
Yeah.
then when I started looking it over, everything was perfect on this beast. Then there's Donnie's 68 Mustang.
Right.
That thing was radical. He's been building it for 17 years, and he's still not done with it.
Well, these were some really cool cars.
Yes, sir.
And if you want to see some more cool cars, join us next week and see why street rotting is more than a hobby.
It's an addiction.
Support for Street Rotting American Style is provided in part by BG Products Incorporated. BG Products Incorporated is dedicated to making vehicles last longer and perform better in the meantime. In shops all over the world, BG Products serves the driving public with innovative products and proven programs of automotive maintenance. More information can be found at bgfindashop.com.